Welcome in, everybody. This is absolute chaos. Bedlam has taken over the blockchain. We are printing money, folks. Spot positions are absolutely going parabolic. I did just enter a position right as we hit live here. I am in extreme danger, all for your content flavor, for your content love. I got my man Isaac running the sticks in the background. Mr. Isaac, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling quite swell, actually. You know, it's a bullish day. I woke up to almost $120,000 per Bitcoin.
Dude,
up at 119.
Absolutely
crazy work, by the way. I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, it's been content heavy, right? Emergency shows all the time. We hit an emergency show last night on the Mario side. We've actually, me and Kelly have had to do emergency shows basically every night for the past few days here. Shout out to everyone that's been holding crypto through this crazy time frame, you guys. Right now, Bitcoin. First of all, let's get into the show here. So make sure you are following me on Twitter at Druth Crypto. This is, the trade I'm in danger with right now. We just saw a little bit of a liquidity grab here, but now we're trying to hold on to this level. Up only by like 2% right now. I could set the stop loss to cover the trade just so I can cover all the rest of it. But what I saw here is we just did a liquidity sweep to the downside in the short-term time frame. So we did a liquidity sweep. We tapped our little wick. We put our little wick down there into that and taking a swing at this. It's going to be interesting if this ends up playing out. This is, I'm having a lot of excitement about the charts and a lot of validation about where things have gone for crypto and Bitcoin. I was looked at as an insane person calling for these types of levels. And honestly, I don't feel like we are done right now. This is a fresh trade. We'll see if we have to clip this thing or not. Ooh, it's going to be sketchy. But we have so much stuff coming up, not only this week with the price action, but next week on a legislative level with Crypto Week. There's a lot of conversations coming in about Bitcoin, crypto as a whole, and how this world is really shifting into blockchain technology and what it means for not only Bitcoin, but altcoins. We are seeing some major moves in the altcoin sector. We have this sea of green. We have Cardano coming up 72 cents right now. XLM with a huge pump. XRP was way up there as well earlier this morning. I think it tapped $2.90. I know my pops is feeling great about that. Chainlink trying to hit that $16 level once again. I think we're at, it's 15.5 right now. Love to see that $30 Chainlink come back in. And we got some great looking charts on Chainlink that we're going to be covering in today's show. So much to go over. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel here at Blockchain Basement on YouTube. And also make sure you're following my man Isaac, Mr. Isaac on X as well. Isaac, you're still ISAAC.
Yes, sir.
That's my man. That's my man right there. So we got to breathe. It's going to be okay. Our bags are going to be okay. This is the chaos that we were waiting for here in crypto. We're seeing major gains across the board here. A lot of the bigger meme core up 1,440% on the week. What in the hell kind of chaos is going on with that? That's absolutely crazy. And we see Mog Coin up 76%, Stellar up 55%, Story, SPX 6900. I mean, this is what the beginnings of alt season needs to look like. These 30, 40, 50% gains on a week. This is what it actually feels like and looks like, folks. And now with all of this amazing price action, Bitcoin dominance rolling back. We coming back. Now, a lot of people in Discord were, highlighting this. It's kind of shorter term trend line, right? And it's starting to try to break down below that. More so, the one that matters for me is the longer term trend line that it's been riding up along this guy right here. And this might be that moment where actually we see the price go to the moon, Bitcoin dominance start to make its way down. In my opinion, the 50% zone is where Bitcoin dominance is going to hold up support. Still the opinion we're going to hit $6 to $8 trillion in terms of a market cap in aggregate, bringing Bitcoin to $3 to $4 trillion in and of itself, landing between that $170,000 to $220,000 range if we do see that actually occur. But Isaac, How are you feeling, man? Tell me. I mean, we're finally starting to see things wake up. Excellent. You feeling a little bit of sigh of relief seeing this start to kick over?
I mean, I was always in a set of relief. We knew where this was going. Okay, we knew this was going to be, the next biggest thing, the new digital world currency here in the future. We've always had that feeling. So I don't think we've me personally, I haven't been stressing about nothing, but I know we start seeing especially today, the attention coming back to crypto. People are interested in seeing what's going on because Bitcoin is, breaching these all-time highs like it's nothing now. And you see Bitcoin dominance falling down and all starting to run a little more, and people are more interested in the whole crypto sector. So again,
and it feels good.
Yeah,
It feels validating. I know. Hopefully, because we as content creators, we work really hard for you guys every single day. We're going to keep the lights on. You can support us by clicking the link in our description, getting an Arculus cold storage wallet, one of these bad guys. 20% off. Use code BASE10. You can also take advantage of Bitcoin IRA. And take advantage of the tax incentives within an IRA. Just tell them the Blockchain Basement sent you. We have so many things. And then you can also trade with us on LBank, Blowfin, any one of those, and then send the user ID into us so that we can get you into the internal trading group within the Discover Investments group Discord. That's a lot of conversation. We're up talking all the way till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, even beyond that, because we got people internationally that are out there trading, looking at charts. We're having fun in there. And you know what? This trade's actually kind of turning into some fun, Mr. Isaac. I don't know. This is kind of crazy.
I'd pull a G off if you hit that.
Yeah, it's pretty much there. All right. You know what? God, it's starting to cook again, though. We're cooking. All right. What I'll do so I can keep covering is I'll up the stop loss here.
Just cover it.
Yeah. I'll just so I entered 116. 116. Let's do 800. Let's see. I'll just cover it and make a little bit of cheese on top if it closes out. All right. Because I got to get through the show here and stuff. This is this could just turn into a trade, right? Just like you guys just get to see me slamming nicotine pouches and leverage trading, right? Isaac gets to sit next to me all the time and experience this firsthand.
It's such a good thing to experience. I think everyone needs a Drew in their life. Okay.
I like that. Thanks for that, man.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm not that bad of a guy, thanks. Hopefully I'm a good influence on folks. Now, this is kind of wild. I mean, if it fails, I'll still make $100. God, it is really, really starting to kick back on up to the upside here. And, really what I'm looking for out of Bitcoin is the completion of what we saw on the weekly signal. And in the shorter term, I'm looking at $120,000. Just barely above us here. I think that we have a lot of juice. We just printed this green dot here. So I think $120,000 isn't too crazy of a number to look at. But in general, over the next month or two, $130,000 to $140,000 is absolutely what I'm looking at. And this is all based off of my analysis and how I work off of the Fu Manchu. But Piano Matty B, I was talking with earlier this morning, brought up something that is absolutely further confluence for me. So he was looking at this as an inverted head and shoulders. And he's basically measuring from this zone up to about the peak of that, the shoulders. And this is inverted head and shoulders, mind you. And you pull this bad boy up to the breakout point right about here. And that does absolutely bring us to that same exact price target, right? So it's some interesting confluence that I'm seeing from some of the best people out there. All right, Isaac, we got our G. All right, I'll clip it real quick. $1,000 in 5 minutes. I can't complain about that.
I think it's the fastest you've ever made $1,000 on a trade.
Pretty much.
Yep. Look at that bag above the 10G realm.
Yeah. It's we're cooking up. I'm up in and this could keep running and stuff like that. But I feel that if I can make $1,000 in a short amount of time, just using the tools that I know how to use here in crypto, in trading, that's not a bad day. So now we can comfortably check out the larger scale liquidation maps, the larger scale movements here. That felt good. That felt good. God dang. I feel You
A
know?
G in 5 minutes, and that's your day. That's that could be your salary alone.
Yeah. Why hasn't the sneaky creator of Bitcoin come out to meet with the President Trump yet? Oh my God. Yeah, Cali Crypto, dude. That's how we can do it, man. And you can keep in mind, like I started trading with like a few $100, like maybe 2 years ago or something like that. Just been very, very locked in and wanting to focus on learning the tools of the trade. And now they're there. We got a combination, a recipe book, and I'm feeling damn good about it. So here's where the real conversation comes in, is that we have all these liquidation levels. We are seeing that, what goes up must come down to a point, but there is a lot of liquidity living here at $111,500. There's a lot of Binance liquidity. We know CZ loves choosing violence. We're washing out. You know what? If I see us tap this thing again and really clear this out, though, in the short-term trade side, just within the day, man, I'd be starting to target, because this is 119,000 essentially, 119.5, where there's a good chunk to take. There's people that are constantly in disbelief right now that only have a short bias. Like I'll put an insurance short on maybe with a very, very tight stop loss and a small amount of money. But my bias is absolutely up and to the right here. We got $108 million in liquidations, but it's been very, very hot and heavy on the liquidation side. You guys be careful out there if you don't know what you're doing, because over $1 billion worth of shorts were liquidated in crypto in the past 24 hours. Absolutely wild. $1 billion in shorts taken out, $118 million in longs. Definitely the tide has shifted towards bullishness for longs. But you know what? It's cyclical. It comes up and down, and you got to be able to ride the waves correctly. And what I love about Bitcoin is that it protects me from the loss of the buying power of the US dollar. And this is a new all-time low for the US dollar in Bitcoin. This is Satoshis per dollar hitting below 1,000 on 1,000 sats. Absolutely crazy. $1 is 878 sats as things sit right now. Totally delicious seeing this. And you know what? It's something that we knew was coming, and this is why we house our value in Bitcoin, to avoid being rugged by constant government spending. There is no one coming to save us on the Federal Reserve or Treasury or politics level. It's up to us to really take the bull by the horns and go after the gusto here. And someone else that I saw that is indeed going after the gusto is the Mooch, Anthony Scaramucci, predicting that Bitcoin is going to hit 150,000 to 180,000 by the end of 2025. And I want to get a kind of a vibe check in the chat here. Do you think that we're going to be able to breach $150,000 this year? Me personally, I would not be surprised if we hit damn near $150,000 within the month. I will go back to what me and Piano Matty B were talking about on this chart, the inverted head and shoulders, the weekly green dot printing. I feel like we can absolutely hit $140,000 this month, but let me know, is this, the Pico top? Are you ready to take profits and roll it out? Like, I want to know what the vibe is in the chat here, because there is so much disbelief going on. I kind of want to know where people's heads are at when they're looking at a chart like this. I mean, we are absolutely screaming. These are fib zones layered on top of this, but this is my general target here in the $170,000 to $200,000 range in the end of 25, beginning of 2026. So absolutely wild. The Mooch calling for, what do you think, Isaac? Are we going to breach 200K?
When, this month?
This year. Think this year we can breach 200K?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
It'd be closer to like November, December timeframe though.
Okay.
Yeah, not soon.
Unpopular opinion.
If I would change what I just said there if I saw Bitcoin hit $150,000 at the end of this month. But as it sits right now, $200,000 and beyond that is at around November, December timeframe.
And Mooch has been very mega bullish in cycles past. I feel like he's being a little bit conservative with this 150. Like, he's being as conservative as I am looking at And the only reason I'm saying this is because I just don't want to be surrounded by people that round trip to everything and are sitting here trying to diamond hand for we might go to 1 million this cycle for sure, which would be great for my bags. But honestly, you have to stay focused on the price levels of assets you hold that will tangibly be able to change your life and improve your life, right? Screenshots of huge increases to portfolio values are great, but I like taking action and actually changing our life with those gains. I think that matters quite a bit there, guys. So, just make sure that you're watching these things. It's an intense time on the altcoin graph, as I showed earlier. And there's going to be a lot of disbelief, but also a lot of people that are holding the bag, just literally expecting up and to the right only for altcoins, primarily, is what I'm talking about. And that is where I really want us to be careful about understanding what level of price, whatever asset needs to hit to tangibly change your life to add more Bitcoin into, because that's my whole game with altcoins, is to add more Bitcoin to the stack. I really, really want to emphasize that. So now we have 46% of traders believe Bitcoin will reach 120K in July this month. Almost half of traders on Polymarket are saying that we're going to hit $120,000 this month. Interesting bet to take. I'd rather take those bets on L Bank and trade our way up into that. But yeah, that was a great trade there. Like friggin' that $1,200 like a blink of an eye. Let's see.
Yeah, legit 5 minutes.
Let's see here. Yeah, I opened it right as we went live.
Yeah.
This is
also,
how you do it.
Shout out Big Hands Dan for the 5 basement members right there.
Dude.
I don't know if you saw that. I saw a sneak peek over there. Big Hands Dan, we love you. We appreciate you, bro.
Hell yeah. Appreciate that, man. That's the support we need, man. Because it's maddening seeing the prices just going parabolic, and retail is just like,
look, it's going up again.
I'm good. They're not locked in, bro. They're not locked in like us, and they're going to pay the price in 10 years when the dollar continues to fall down to zero and Bitcoin goes to the moon. They're going to pay the price for not paying attention now, but you guys won't, because you're locked in. And share the show out. You get it out there. Help me out here.
Repost here on X and share the link on YouTube with a friend. Or
absolutely. Absolutely, man. Now we have Bitcoin hitting these new highs, and of course, Peter Shitbag comes out and says it's time to sell Bitcoin at new highs and buy silver. So he's trying to talk people into bags of silver as Bitcoin is hitting new all-time highs. Is it wise to buy silver with your Bitcoin? Right?
No, wrong. Actually, you should be using your silver to buy Bitcoin, not your Bitcoin.
I like that more. I like that more.
I like that way better.
Yeah, silver is highly manipulated, in my opinion. It's part of the production process, and there's a reason why the powers that be that control finance aren't going to let it out of the bag here. So now someone else that let their stuff out of the bag, German government, and their decision to sell that 50,000 Bitcoin they were sitting at when we were at $54,000.
Forgot about that.
That decision has now cost them $3.1 billion in missed profits. Ouch. Not a great look. Not a great look. Those types of lessons are what make a government like wince. Like, oh God, we could have had $3-4 billion if we would hold on to that.
And assets that we probably could have needed.
Oof. That's rough.
No. Paper hands.
That's gonna sting. That's gonna sting. And shout out to the pops here. Got Mr. McCrotch himself reposting an old school post of mine. I'm out here fighting algorithmic robots and billionaires on the Bitcoin charts. Wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. Christ is king with my friend, the Pepe Crusader. Not to mention fighting everyone in the chat room in the blockchain basement. One of my favorite things to do here, arguing with my lovely people here. Now, we didn't ban anyone yesterday. Really, no one was misbehaving. I mean, we've had oddly good behavior in the chat, which is kind of weird. It doesn't feel the same. We're used to.
I need to ban someone. I missed that ban button.
Keep your eyes out for anyone that
My
gets
eyes are peeled. I'm not saying do it just because I said so. Do it because it's right.
That's right, baby. Now, IBIT blew through $80 billion mark last night. The fastest growing ETF to get there in 374 days, 5 times faster than the previous record held by VOO, which did it in 1,814 days. Also at $83 billion. It's now the 21st biggest ETF overall. This is absolutely nuts. This is the IBIT growth, the BlackRock ETF in Bitcoin compared to all of the other major ETF performers. And holy God, did it take them so much longer to accomplish these same levels, $80 billion that IBIT's Bitcoin ETF is hitting right now. This is showing us a signal that we are literally looking down the barrel of the next world reserve currency, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to create a black hole of interest financially across the world over the next 5 decades. And if you get in now, sure. I mean, we can get it 50K, 100K. It doesn't matter. If we're looking at the inflows of over $50 trillion plus coming into Bitcoin over the long term, you're literally setting up generational wealth for your kids, for your loved ones, if you're focused in, if you're locked in right now. So there is that. Someone called you senpai.
No,
I see
Adam
someone called you
Bombetti
senpai. Adam Bombetti called him senpai.
Not
My God.
unhinged enough. Thank you, though.
Wow. Michael Saylor's strategy now has $28 billion in unrealized profits on the strategy Bitcoin investment. We're going to be looking at trillions of dollars in profits for Michael Saylor over the long term here. This is just getting started. Oh my God, the meanless has returned. Right as I say, everyone's been well behaved. The most misbehaved person. Oh my God. Good to see you, meanless. Good to see you, meanless. Now, this is absolutely wild. I'm blushing because of, we're making this amount of money. The spot bags are pumping. The trading procedure is in place. Things are feeling so good. I almost want to take it just a peek. We're going to take a peek back and see if we can get another trade in here. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll wait to see if we can get a double flush on this. Double flush. And what's your opinion on double flush, Isaac? Is it out of courtesy? Because you could leave a little behind just to make a point,
I mean, you could, but that's kind of fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
See, the only reason you have to here at the office is because the toilets don't fucking work properly. But other than that, I don't know anybody who double flushes or why anybody would double flush. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Unless you really you ate some Taco Bell or you ate some not good food and you're like fighting some demons on there. That's a little.
It's almost like a dominant signal though. They can tell you did one flush, but it didn't really quite get it. It's like I got plenty more where that came from, bro.
I don't think that's asserting dominance. I think that you have a problem with your bowels.
Yeah.
You should go get that checked out.
Yeah. Oh my God. No way. Look at this. Thanks for the super chat, Nikitas. Story must be told. 15-year Bitcoin influencer, the modern investor, sold all of his Bitcoin and altcoins 2 hours before yesterday's pump.
Sad.
Bro. Just hodl, guys. Just hodl. Love your Bitcoin. Hold your Bitcoin. Okay. Sure. You eat the altcoins, fine. I mean, he's probably well up. I'm assuming if he's been in it for 15 years, he's probably been buying pretty low levels. Who's really been holding all this time? Satoshi Nakamoto. Look at this. Satoshi Nakamoto, now the 12th richest person in the world with a value of $124 billion in that Bitcoin wallet.
Jesus Christ.
$124 billion. On his way to $1 trillion in value. Shout out to Satoshi, whether you're still at the Department of Defense or you have passed on to greater pastures.
NSA.
Yeah, maybe you're still typing things at the NSA, writing memos, having meetings with the Bobs. Now, Bitcoin treasury holdings have surpassed 800,000 Bitcoin, which is a huge chunk of the supply. Bitcoin treasuries and companies holding Bitcoin are absolutely going parabolic. And we have not seen Microsoft. We have not seen the Apple interest yet. This is where absolute chaos will ensue. We have not seen Apple or, another announcement from Tesla or Microsoft roll in investment into Bitcoin with their literal trillions of dollars that they're sitting on, NVIDIA. So what we see is the beginnings of it. and we're starting to see it start to kick up. Treasury companies bought over 159,000 of these Bitcoin for $17 billion in just Q2 of this year. That's 66% more than quarter one. The corporate FOMO is starting to build up. It's starting to get going here, and things are about to get really, really stupid. So now it's stupid to not hold Bitcoin. I know that. I've learned that. Been taught that. I learned it myself. India is thinking about adding in Bitcoin to its national reserves as well. So we just covered Wall Street FOMO starting to kick in, but we're seeing the grumblings of nation state FOMO kick in. Nation state FOMO takes longer than Wall Street. Companies can move much quicker than nations can. So this makes sense. But really, what this is Wall Street's trying to get ahead of literal Bitcoin backed fiat currencies, which I think is absolutely coming. Got a question from DJ Flexa. Drew, do you think Bezos is low-key stacking? It's funny that he sells hundreds of millions of dollars in Amazon stocks and suddenly things pump. That is a interesting thought there, because we did see like it was $666 million worth of Bezos stock on Amazon sold just a few days ago. And I saw another massive sell from Bezos yesterday and the day before. Maybe, DJ, maybe those are indeed connected. And he's like, fine, Apple doesn't want to do it yet. I'm going to jeet all these stocks and I'm going to hammer into Bitcoin. That's absolutely crazy to think about. New Deftones song is out. I got to give that a listen.
They're coming out with a new album here soon.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, saw it this morning.
Deftones are sick. Deftones. Shout out to the Deftones. Audio Slave, Soundgarden. Creed's another good one. I love me my Nickelback too. No one's gonna stop me from liking Nickelback. I don't care who you are. Bitcoin gonna devour stocks, man. That's the opinion here. And like AI and nuclear stocks, I think are going to be very strong. Nanotechnology, and then your standard, necessity stocks. I think those are strong plays too. Yeah, that's a massive coincidence. Amazon, Bezos dumping hundreds of millions of dollars in stock just days before things start to enter the banana zone for Bitcoin. What do you think, guys? I guess is that Bezos buys that we're seeing cause these insane candlesticks? Like, I mean, this is
that's an insane conspiracy, and I wouldn't even thought about it myself. So shout out to you, first of all.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think anything's possible, to be honest. I can't really say for sure, but it leans that way.
Huh? It really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one can deny the candlestick is thick. So things are sitting right now at $117,300. Let's hop on over. Maybe I can clip another trade for you guys and kind of show you how I'm doing this stuff. So I'm looking at the general price. The liquidity is disappearing below us. So we're getting a little bit of profit taken. So interesting. Let's see here. 24-hour. And let me know in the chat if you guys want me to get a link and start hooking up with CryptoFace and Market Cipher, because I use pretty similar systems, but I like Market Cipher's layout a lot. You know what I mean? I talked to him last night. I might get integrated. Might get that going with Face. I know he's an incredible trader, and I really like hanging out with him on shows whenever I get the chance to. So it came up, something that I'm thinking about doing. Let me know in the chat if you guys would support that kind of move. Now, the larger term time frames, I mean, God, it looks like we're going to be pretty strong at holding 115 just from where things sit.
You are banned.
Jesus, what happened there? Good morning.
I'm back. I've hit the button. I feel great.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, it was your father.
Oh, it was my dad? Oh, damn.
You shouldn't have said what he said.
Damn, man. That's pretty brutal there. All right. So I got to say something, just so people know where my head's at right now, is that I have actively started the fast. I started fasting as of 11:30 yesterday. I have not eaten anything in more than 24 hours now. So if I get a little bit loopy, that's what it is. But you know what? I feel good. My neurons are clicking good. I'm feeling healthy, and it is what it is here. Yeah, I mean, he has very long streams. CryptoFace just sits there and he literally leaves his trades up on the stream. The dude is just an absolute savage when it comes to trading, though. I really, really like getting confluence from his signals that he's looking for as well. Now, this is Sailor with his based post of the day. Just get in, loser. Get in. We're taking over the world financial system. That's all it is. And you know what? I've talked about this on the Mario and our Fall show last night, but I really want us to understand this concept, my crowd, my peeps in the blockchain basement, is that we are at $115 plus thousand on Bitcoin right now. But we are staring down the barrel of 2 rate cuts from what the markets expect as of right now. More than likely, in my opinion, 3 rate cuts this year. We're looking at the leader of the housing authority in the United States, $120 trillion industry in real estate, calling for the resignation of Jerome Powell, through Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, those leadership boards, telling the board of the Federal Reserve, get this guy out of here. We need rates lower because we got to refinance $9 trillion worth of debt in the next year, and we'll go bankrupt if we have to do it at these current levels, right? So we're seeing massive pressure to lower the interest rates as well. And we're also seeing this buildup of corporate treasuries hit levels of FOMO that we could have only dreamed of. There is so many bullish factors playing into our market right now. It is absolutely insane. And then you add on to this, when the strategic reserve is moved forward with, in any degree or fashion over the next few years, Bitcoin-backed treasury bonds. These are going to open up a black hole of interest across the world. Any country that doesn't follow the suit of the United States in opening up Bitcoin-backed treasury bonds over the next few years is going to experience capital flight like they've never imagined before. There are going to be capital controls to keep money inside whatever currency it is so that people don't FOMO into these bit bonds out of the United States. This is coming. I'm giving you large-scale thought on this over the next few years. You can take that to the bank. Juice Master with the super chat. Been following this channel since 5,000 subscribers.
Shout out.
Big fan, even though I talk shit. I love shit talkers. Question about this Arculus wallet. Can any phone tap your card and open your wallet? No. So it takes a facial scan, fingerprint scan. It has to be your phone, and it has to be that card with the assets on it. So it's 3-factor authentication. Thank you for the question, though. It's a great one. It's a great one. Whip the big dick chart out. All right. Let's whip the big dick chart out.
Sure. Who said that,
I'm whipping
though?
up the big dip chart out. All right, let's go.
Who said it?
What?
It's bullish, but I want to ban you.
Oh, yeah. Laserface. Get him. Get him.
Laserface.
Realize losses. All right. I'm calling up the big dick chart here.
Appreciate
right
your
now.
bullishness.
You are banned!
I'm back, baby.
All right. All right. This is the latest data that we have on the FDIC. This is the best chart in crypto. This is why I know all roads lead to crypto. And this is the FDIC government level website here. These are the gains and losses on mid-sized banks. We're about to get the next print on this candle. And actually, I think that it's going to be heading in a worse direction. I think that this is probably going to end up landing in the $500+ billion in unrealized losses. The reason for printing has never been clearer. And on top of everything I just said to you, but wait, there's more. There's 2 more spending bills coming out of the Republican side of the government to keep the government doors open, because what they just passed in the big, beautiful bill is only going to open the doorway and the runway for the government to keep operating this fiat Ponzi scheme until September of this year. They're going to have to put 2 more to keep the doors open here. They're never going to stop with this quantitative easing, this scam. This is why we must lean into Bitcoin and protect our assets here. And while we're hitting these all-time highs, or the tiny hats, Bitcoin is at new all-time highs, and retail is almost nowhere to be found. Latest leg up mostly driven by institutions in that IBIT graph that I showed you earlier in the show. Absolutely insane to see and think about. The average person doesn't have any interest in Bitcoin while it's literally going into price discovery. I have no idea what the hell is going on. Let's see here. I like this comment here. Jason Casper's Chicken. Stay vigilant, guys. In order for us to have 6 to 8 week bull run, we will definitely need a pullback on a lower RSI time frame, so don't get discouraged. This is normal. I'd agree with that. You know, you can't go up and to the right only in this market, and that's kind of why, you know, I was watching this. You know, the $15,000 spot. Obviously, that's kind of like the recent shelf that we built up for ourselves, but this is a very, very strong volume node. Let's go look at volume nodes so we can look at all of these things together as a family. Okay, so let's delete this, go into the wider time frames, like me, my 4-hour. God, look at that. Oh my God, look at this. I've been drawing it over and over for, God, 2 weeks now, has it been?
Something like that, yeah.
This played out even more violently than I expected. This played out. Shout out to you guys. If you're following this, I love you. I love what I do, too. Right? I love what I do. So let's see here. The main volume node, the point of control for this visible volume range profile sits at $105,000. The one above us, that is pretty substantial, sits at around $109,000. And then this little bee's dick right here at $111,500. So don't be discouraged if price comes back down and you see something like that and tap the top end of this trend line. I will actually draw this just for future reference. Don't get discouraged if you come and tap this volume node right here before being able to continue on up. Nothing goes up and to the right only consistently, even though it's been that way the last day or two. Things do have to cool down before they can keep going on up. And that's where you kind of get that massive interest in buys and that real velocity to keep the move of the general bull market going. So just keep that in mind. Now, as I said at the beginning of the show, we have a lot of stuff happening on a legislative level for crypto next week. And we have Cynthia Lummis coming out and talking about a crypto tax bill that's being set forth that put an end to unfair tax practices and level the playing field for digital assets.
It is now, and that's why we want to discuss the digital asset tax legislation, because there's a whole lot of parts of this. But again, it's smart stuff because, listen, the more it grows, we want to make sure people are protected with taxes. You want to talk about the most important parts of this?
I do. There's a part that would prevent the double taxation of digital assets. Right now, they're taxed when they're identified, and they're taxed again when they're sold. We don't do that with things like gold and cattle. We tax them when they're sold. And so we need to change that for digital assets. We're also sponsoring legislation that would create a de minimis amount that people could spend. When we're using Bitcoin as a means of exchange, we want to have a de minimis amount that can be used and spent without being subject to taxation. That amount would be about $5,000 per year. So those are a couple of the main provisions.
Some interesting words there, you know, comparing how we handle taxation on things like gold and other commodities to crypto. And she's got a lot of validity in saying it. And it looks like next week it's coming out that they're going to try to sort through all of this stuff here. I want to find this post here from Eleanor Tourette. Shout out to Eleanor Tourette, very based crypto and just general journalist that's really been leaning in to crypto and covering it very, very nicely for us here. Next week, we have Eleanor's post here in a minute, but next week the House will deliver on the President of the United States call to make the U.S. the capital of the world for crypto. We have the Clarity Act, the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, and then the Genius Act, which we've already talked about and had passed forward. We need that signature and that finalization, I believe, still. But I know that it's going to make it to his desk and make it through. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, can't wait to print money with stablecoins through the Genius Act. But let's head on over to what the Democrats are thinking of this whole situation to counter the GOP's Crypto Week. Representative Maxine Waters and Stephen Lynch are launching an anti-crypto corruption week to rally the Dems to block the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, and the anti-CBDC bill. Okay, I can understand, like, do they understand what a surveillance-based CBDC would do to just Democrats and Republicans? Like, why don't Democrats just pull their heads out of their asses? Warning to pave the way for what they call Trump's crypto corruption. And since Trump has leaned bullish on crypto, everything about crypto is corrupt, right? According to the Democrats, Maxine Waters. Good God, woman, can you just please get out of the office there? Now, a shout out to Arculus again. Unstoppable Web is integrating with This is Arculus. This is Arculus, the cold storage device. They're going to bring support and seamless infrastructure for .arculus domains. They're going to receive crypto at this .arculus. I should have like Drew.arculus, right? Yeah. Send me crypto, right? Arculus represents the next frontier in digital security, offering unparalleled protection and authentication for both individuals and businesses, combining cutting-edge software with intuitive software. Arculus providing that advanced metal card and app solution, ensuring that only users can hold the keys to their private assets. So kind of an interesting thing that's going on here. I'm going to have to get a Druth.arculus domain 100%. Absolutely need to do that. What are you going to name your domain, Isaac?
AA.arculus.
AA.arculus?
AA.arculus.
Okay.
Also, this is completely unrelated, but the Deftones album comes out on August 22nd, and they have one new song out right now.
August 22nd is when the Deftones album comes out? Ooh.
This was very off topic, but I had to.
Well, no, it's important stuff. This is important stuff. I mean, that's a big deal. The Deftones are, music, food, family, God, guns. This is all the key parts of life here. So, with all of this pump, I mean, we got a sea of green. Everything's going great. Ethereum peaked its head over $3,000. It was a really, really good time. Never gonna happen again. No, I'm just kidding. But we see old school wallets within Ethereum taking advantage of the FOMO moment, and of course, the Ethereum Foundation dumped.
Fuck it all up.
At least SharpLink is out here buying. We're starting to see some uptick in Ethereum treasuries, even some slight interest in Solana treasuries as well. So there is that, but you got to keep in mind there's ETH Foundation people in the background dumping on us just the same. I mean, God, the Chainlink holders, the early ICO people of Chainlink dumping on me the same way as XRP, Ripple dumping. It's so aggravating. Thank God that we have Satoshi and Bitcoin that's not just consistently dumping on our heads here. Absolutely crazy here. Give you $1 for a piece of every other one that you have. Bad buy. Got a good big of OLMS. I'm just reading through the chat here. Selling to pay their leases like Brad Garlinghouse does. It's aggravating. It is very aggravating. This is why I love Bitcoin so much. And, the finite supply of it. Now that there's a total supply like 120 million Ethereum or something like that. There's 21 million Bitcoin forever, and 5 to 7 million of those are lost forever, in my opinion. So we're dealing with a very, very finite supply of Bitcoin, which is why we can have that long-term vision of bullishness up into the right action for Bitcoin. Altcoins will have their season, as we said. Alt season's around the corner, and it's starting to see the beginnings of it. Grayscale is now pushing the SEC to lift the pause on their multi-crypto ETF basket. Lawyers called the delay harmful to investors and threatened legal action against the SEC. The fund currently includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, ADA, and XRP. Could this unlock the door potentially for even a Doge ETF and a Pengu ETF, among others? And kind of interesting to highlight, ADA and XRP are some of the biggest gainers here. So we're seeing the coins that are closest to TradFi acceptance of ETFs be some of the hardest runners here. Right before we went live, these were dark green. Cardano with a 14% pump as things sit right now. XRP with a very respectable 12% pump. Another ISO token, XLM, even stronger of a pump. Very, very intriguing for me to see the tokens that are closest to the ETF acceptance, as we see here with Grayscale's demands, being the heaviest pumpers. Now, kind of a deep pick that we've been talking about for a while. Mamo Agent. We talked about it with Moonwell's founder Luke Youngblood before it even came out. He's had a day where he visited Amazon Web Services in the loft to demonstrate Mamo Agent to a bunch of builders within AWS. There's a group of really interested developers and agent builders, along with Coinbase hackathon winners like Moonwell, who won the grand prize. And Mamo is a microcap I'm kind of having FOMO about here. Let's go to Mamo. Jeez, we're up 15%. This thing is only $21 million market cap, though. I mean, this is a micro cap, and it is performing pretty damn good. Look at this. This is since inception. Mamo has been a very, very strong performer. It's an AI agent that handles DeFi pools, and it takes in information about how much yield you're looking for, how much risk your tolerance is. And then this AI agent literally goes with your assets and does the DeFi actions for you. So it's a very, very interesting new iteration of what AI agents can do in terms of their capabilities being rolled out. And Moonwell, Morpho, Aerodrome, these are the in crowd for Coinbase. So I'm watching these projects very, very closely. I'm holding all three of these projects, and I really feel like the base influx hasn't even started yet. So I'm watching these things very closely. Now, SWI. SWI has been one with the limelight on it. Ali Charts is highlighting it is consolidating within a symmetrical triangle. A sustained close above $2.60 could be the breakout signal that bulls have been looking for. This is on the daily. He's looking out for it. And let's see if we had that daily close or SWI above 260. So I'll hop on over here to the charts. SWI USDT, or let's just do Coinbase. That's fine. Wow. Whoa. Holy God. Look at that box of buying. Look, I put the buy box here. Oh, look, you want to know where to buy this thing? Here, I drew this box when we were like somewhere up here. We tapped this box perfectly. Now I'll get this out of the way. The moment's passed. That's why you follow the blockchain basement on the daily, right?
It's almost like you know what you're doing.
It's almost like I know what I'm doing. We very much so have closed on the daily above $2.60. So SWI getting ready to have a pretty sweet summer. Now, this trend line I'm checking out here, it's got to break out of the trend, in my humble opinion, but it's well on its way. SWI, in my opinion, $10 is reasonable. If they do a change to token inflation, it'd be, a battle to get to $10. But if we have Bitcoin dominance, let's go back to Bitcoin dominance. So if we have Bitcoin dominance fall all the way down to those crazy, crazy levels that I was thinking of.
You are banned!
A lot of bans today. What else happened? Oh my God. I see what happened.
I shall not speak of nothing.
Oh my God. Okay. So if we have a Bitcoin dominance move that brings us down even to the 50% realm, that's where SWI, I'd be talking, $10 to $20 more so. That's where I'm talking $100, $200 Chainlink, multi-$100 Avalanche, crazy, crazy levels. So, and I am starting to see some pretty interesting signals for Chainlink as well. So this trend line for Chainlink has been broke. In my general trend line for Chainlink, it is broke. We have higher lows on these weekly candles and dual green dots with trigger waves all over the damn place, you guys. Things are signaling for a major, major upswing for Chainlink, as I see this is an incredible signal to have. On top of that, we can hop on over to LBank, and we will go check out something else that's important, in my opinion. So let's go to Chainlink. Let's exit this full view, and let's go up, select asset, go down to Chainlink here. So Yeah, sure. We've had like, whatever, 10% pump or whatever. It really hasn't seen shit yet. And what I see, I'm giving you front running information, is the MACD, that juicy MACD. God, it smells good. Someone's like cooking a pizza right next to me. Okay. So go to the daily. That's what the daily on the MACD looks like. But this is where the juice is at, the weekly. Okay. The weekly. Look at this. So the weekly MACD on Chainlink has clear higher lows built within it. Pretty similar to this, but even a deeper recession of these sell moves on the MACD. And we're getting our first green impulse on the weekly for Chainlink that we have seen in quite some time. These are weekly metrics, mind you. So the last time we saw this real tick of green on up to the upside on the MACD on the daily brought us in Chainlink terms. We were down at $10 all the way on up to $30, or a 200% move from where we're sitting right now. But with the confluence of the Genius Act, all of these other things coming into play, I am looking for that larger macro move on Chainlink. That macro move on Chainlink, in my opinion, does break us into price discovery beyond the $50 level. More so I'm angling towards looking for that $100 to $200 Chainlink in this alt season cycle. It's not too crazy, in my opinion, to look for something like that. That's expecting Chainlink to hit $100 billion market cap as we finally have regulatory clarity. I think that this is something very, very serious. You own Zero Graphane. Did you sell all your graphane, Isaac?
I've sold all my graphane.
Okay. Did you buy anything different with it?
Yeah, I bought Drift, remember?
Oh,
I bought Drift at 39 cents and we're at 44 cents. We're 10% up on the day. So
good. Okay.
I'm rich.
There you go. Is graphane alive still, or what's it look like?
It's at like $57 million market cap right now.
57?
Yeah, it's up 13% on the day, 41% on the week.
Okay.
And down 0.5 on the month.
Okay. All right. Well, for Chainlink, this is what I see. I think that with all of the regulatory adoption that we're getting here, I'm adjusting the tokens for inflation over the course of the remainder of this year, I can see $100 billion very tangibly for this asset. And that brings it to $144 a unit. So, an 8.5x from where we're at right now is not too crazy for me to think about in terms of Chainlink, all the regulatory clarity that we've seen. I'm holding it. I'm excited about it. And I'm excited about where the markets are going in general. Holy God, Bitcoin has no chill. I'm looking down on my phone and we are ripping once again. This is why, and I do this for you. I don't sit here staring at the charts and I clip things so I can go on to the rest of the stories here. And God damn, it is now at $117,700. We are cooking back up to the sky once again. You saw me sell this volume node. We are trying to make our way to the next volume node. Absolutely crazy.
Can you take me higher?
Up only. Max Payne is up only, right? Max Payne is up only. We're like, God, I should have sold my foot for more Bitcoin, or I should have sold my liver to that guy in the back alley behind Bennigan's 6 years ago to buy more Bitcoin. This is that time frame where you just wish you sold your organs to people behind Bennigan's. That's where it is. For more Bitcoin, of course, not for other things. Now, in the midst of all of this mega pump, something else is pumping, and that is the 10-year, 30-year, and 2-year treasuries for the United States Treasury bonds. And this is going to affect why we see mortgage rates stay high, why we need to make as much cash as humanly possible to hammer buy in cash homes, right? The interest rates are absolutely crazy right now. Treasury rates are going ballistic, and we need to fight back against that by holding and selling our crypto into Bitcoin. Now, President Trump has also announced a 35% tariff on Canada, Snow, Mexico this morning. And guess what? Markets do not care. Bitcoin did not care about a 30% tariff on one of our main allies in the world. Instead, it's just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to go to all-time highs instead. I don't care about trade wars anymore. It is what it is. This Carney guy, total putz. Honestly, probably on the list. Moving on, not infatuated by politics, but you know what? If you want to pump our bags with the strategic reserve, have at it, buddy. We got position ahead of you. Trump is also preparing a plan to sell both offensive and defensive weaponry to several allied nations in NATO with the agreement that the weapons and other equipment will be provided to Ukraine. So no big deal. Just a constant war machine expanding, no stop, no peace pump, just up and to the right only with violence and the demise of humanity worldwide as they destroy our buying power and start new wars. Now, at a marijuana facility, there was an ice swarmed Ventura County fields, hauling away the very farm workers who keep America's produce aisles stocked. We're resisting arrest, treating the backbone of our food chain like a threat. This is not border security. This is self-sabotage. This is Brian Allen's word, saying that this is a food chain. Instead, it was a marijuana facility. What would we do without illegals there to pick our weed for us? Total moron. Absolutely insane. Democrats are the worst. This is crazy. A former U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer from St. Thomas has been sentenced to 20 years in federal prison for smuggling 15 kilos of cocaine on a flight to Atlanta with his service weapon in tote. So he was coming to our hometown of Atlanta with 15 keys of cocaine and a weapon, a federal weapon. Got caught. Going to be spending 20 years behind bars. It is what it is. Now, this is the raid on that ICE move on the food place. This is where they were going after marijuana pickers that were here illegally. They're fucking shooting guns at the ICE police officers. So
Get me involved. I'm itching.
Oh my God, it's getting absolutely crazy down there. Stay strapped, or as George Washington famously said, "Stay strapped or get clapped." That's what we talk about here.
Hand in hand with the back of his head.
Shout out to Lolo down in the Rumble chat, dude. Appreciate you, bro. Brian is indeed a retard. Now, U.S. State Department prepares for mass layoffs as early as Friday this week. Looks like there's a lot of layoffs coming to the State Department. Not enough, if you ask me. Not enough. And we also have the human hybrid iteration of humanity coming in. And Jake Schneider has announced that he is the 7th recipient of Neuralink's telepathy abilities, the 3rd recipient with ALS. Following Jake's new X account per Jake, life at the intersection of hope and technology, wired for that to be impossible. Neuralink's useful for paraplegics. I've always said this is just something that I don't really have any wish to plug in. But I could see the use case and how this is the Trojan horse where they can say, hey, it's for your health, for your safety, and for bettering people that are bedridden. And then 20 years down the road, hey, if you don't have the chip, you're going into the furnace. That's, potentially where things are headed there. So now, am I going to die from nicotine? All right. I like nicotine. Okay.
Obviously.
I like nicotine. People worry about me in my nicotine intake. I have 4 milligram packs, and I have maybe 4 or 5 of these a day, right? I feel like I'm not too unhealthy, but maybe there's something to this. TJ sent me this last night. Let's just soak this in together. I get some advice from my crowd here and see if I'm gonna die.
Nicotine's really good for you, and it's neuroprotective. It protects your brain.
So I start with a 3 milligrams and I take it and I'm like, whoa, dude, like I'm like buzzing right now. Made me shit immediately. Then I started to use them a little more frequently, and I'm like, all right, let me get the 6. And then I started doing the 6. Now they don't do anything, but it's like an oral fixation thing. I tried to stop one day, bro. I had such bad brain fog. I was driving and I'm like, dude, I think I'm either gonna faint or I'm gonna drive off the side of the road because I don't know what's going on.
It was that bad for you?
It was so bad. I was like a fiend, bro. I was like, give me the 6s.
How many are you taking a day?
Almost 10 a day. So that's
This guy looks like a total douchebag. He looks like a weak mindset douchebag. And he was taking way too many. 15. That's a lot of nicotine, right? That's not a lot of nicotine. Maybe I'll tailor it back. Probably not. I heed the warnings. I'm good though. I'm good. Dude does look like a junkie, does it? In the choke. What was that? Like a choker? Is that like a choker type necklace there? That's just a
chokers are a little tighter than that.
A little tighter than that? Okay. I mean, this just looks like someone at Hot Topic, you know, mid 2000s, ended up getting into their parents' pill jars, you know.
Good old days.
Dude chugs farts. Trying to quit smoking dab pen harder than nicotine or cocaine. Ooh, that's a tough one. Multiverse, yeah, that shit's like 99%, bro. That shit is like military grade marijuana out there. Like I know Colorado has them. They have these little pens with like 99% THC. People get hella addicted. And starting July 15th, in 4 days, YouTube is only going to pay creators who use their real voice and produce original content. Following will not be eligible for monetization. Reused, repurposed videos, copied content, low effort uploads, or fully AI generated videos. So might be good for us. Might be good for us.
Very good. More money for us.
Might be good for us. Well, it's a beautiful day in the blockchain, you guys. Things are absolutely looking delicious. Bitcoin is holding in these mid $117,000 realms. A sea of green, a fucking sea of green for altcoins. It feels so damn good. And while Bitcoin is going absolutely ballistic, we have Bitcoin dominance taking a little haircut. And that's what I said. Bitcoin price can go parabolic while the dominance falls down. As the things sit right now from top to bottom, we've seen it fall by about 2.5%, but I am of the opinion that we're going to see a moment over the next few months here where this, instead of, you know, just constant up and to the right, we're going to see the Bitcoin dominance fall by upwards of 20+%. And that is where absolute chaos comes to altcoins, and a bunch of angry Bitcoin maxis will freak out when they see $100+ random altcoins, tons of vaporware going to the moon, and people that held these altcoins like psychopaths absolutely printing money and getting even more Bitcoin in their hands. So huge shout out to you guys. Really appreciate everyone for supporting this channel, for getting us this far. Can we take a look at Aerodrome? Sure, real quick. Aerodrome, definitely still holding my arrow. Let's see here. Got to get on the wire with Vet to get this arrow working for me in liquidity pools. And where are we at right now? So we're at 80 cents right now, up 7%, just about. Morpho at $1.70. These things kind of bumped previously, but Aerodrome, in relative speaking terms, you're seeing higher highs previously created on the previous all-time highs. On the lower highs, you're getting higher lows on this current zone that we're in. And Aerodrome, I still feel very, very strongly is on path to accomplish half of what Uniswap did last cycle. So this is my favorite thing to do for Aerodrome. It's just expecting, you know, half of a performance of what Uniswap did last cycle, acknowledging there's a lot more tokens out there. I'm still looking at that $10 Aerodrome per token potential this cycle. I'm loving it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good in my loins, and I hope you guys are too. I'm going to go work out now, continue this freaking fasting. God, my belly is rumbling, Isaac. My belly is rumbling. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't
break
need
it.
food.
Break it.
I don't need food.
Whatever you say.
Don't need food. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to, oh God, I've got to do my creatine and my pre-workout too. You know what? I'm just going to do arms. It's an extra day in the gym. This is like kind of my, my extra credit day, because I already did legs, back, shoulders, buys, everything. It's an arm day. It's an extra arm day for me. It's a vanity day.
Hell yeah.
There's that. All right. We're going to head out of here. I love and appreciate every single one of you out there. Share this stream out to the world, and we'll see you on Monday. Or no, wait, what day is today?
Today's Friday. We'll see you Monday.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Yeah. We'll see you Monday next week. Until next time, stay based. Take care.